Happy Friday, bitches. I hope everyone's having a great day. I had to change my avatar to include said cupcake. Hello, everyone. Hello, Jess, Izzy, Murder Was the Case. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat. The alien cabal that rules the world. Oh my goodness, my dog just got out. Hang on. Oh my gosh, that was almost a disaster. Normally it wouldn't be a problem because Judah's a big old teddy bear, but the dog across the street is outside too, and I think she's in heat. So we're not trying to do all that. Hello, Amy, Redstone, Lickety, Princess Ice. What a week! I'm like blown away by some of the goings on. So I was trying to listen to some things and get caught up because real life has just, am I like robot-y? Probably a little bit. Your comments aren't updating. Hang on one second. I don't know. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. I'm guessing you can. So if you cannot, then someone text me because comments are not updating again. So as I was going throughout the week, like listening to stuff in the background, like I always do, I had to like take a break from some of this craziness. The conclusion I've come to is that you're all fucking nuts. Every last person on this platform, we're all insane. Can't see comments, so I'm sorry. I can try to go out and come back in. Let me try to do that. Pause for the cause, please. Okay, that worked. So, hello, Ash, Angel Eyes, Lips, everyone else, Chica, Skunk, a Dragon. Hello, Salty Nuts, Livy. The cupcake is all your fault. But hey, it's appropriate for Valentine's Day, right? It's probably like the only Valentine I'm going to get. Okay, so Truth Hurts, hello, Tennessee Rose, Navy Wife. I think I got everyone. That's the only people I can see. If I missed anyone, I do apologize. So we're all crazy, right? Where I've learned so much, like just over this past week. And if you really sit back and you don't get involved and you just observe, you guys know how I feel about that. How I feel like sometimes you just need to slow your roll a minute and just kind of see what's going on, how people move, how they react. None of you are fooling anybody. If you think you have this act down, I'm not even fooling anybody, right? I'm sure that I have all the flashing red lights that let people know, hey, this bitch is kind of thrown off too. She has some triggers, she has some things that you can poke Good luck finding them, but they're there. I'm not above anything. I'm not indestructible. Comments are not loading again, so I do apologize. I don't want to keep leaving and coming back. I'm going to try it one more time, and if it doesn't stay fixed, then I'm sorry. All right, we're going to hope that it works and that it sticks. Hey, Mandy Cat, BGE Cat. Oh, same dragon. Mine was out. They just went back yesterday. So 2 days. Then they're out for the weekend. So, in the midst of trying to listen to everything and catch up, I took a break and I wanted to just, I don't know, listen to something lighthearted and funny because I love to laugh. So, in my quest to do that, I found some new words. And we all know that I am intrigued by people who don't think words are hard. I like a guy with a big vocabulary who isn't afraid of the English language or whatever language. I just think that language is fun. So I found some new words. So we're going to start off with a little funny stuff because I think a lot of these new words apply to everything. And I have notes, people. You don't even know. I have notes today. So, one of the first words, and you can feel free to take notes too. Get your crayon, your pencil, picture pages, whatever. You guys remember that show, Picture Pages? There's going to be a test afterwards. So, I expect all of you to be multifunctional people. If you don't know what that is a person doing way too fucking much and hanging on by a fucking thread. So if you feel like you have been in that situation, then you probably have deja vu. When you feel like you've heard the same crap before, I bet Ernie probably had deja vu. Or he will have in the future. Then we have people who are bitch-tastic. They're the ones who are fantastic, sarcastic, and full of fucking attitude. I know a lot of people like that. All my friends are like that. And sometimes you just have to say fuck a doodle doo. Then we have our knobsticles. Now, what the fuck is that? That's what I was asking when I heard that word. So, it is a person who consistently gets in the way, either through incompetence, arrogance, or unhelpful behavior. I have no idea what you guys are saying in the chat. And make situations more difficult than we need to be. I can think of a few people like that. Hold on. Okay. I don't like not being able to see what you guys are saying in the chat. I feel terrible. I don't know what the hell is wrong with StreamYard, though. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything important. But you guys are more than welcome to use these words. I am going to need a whole whiteboard. I have one in my little office studio thing. I have one. I do have notes today. I couldn't memorize all these words on the fly like that, but I am going to try to start using them on a regular basis. Oh, my papers. It's windy outside. So sometimes you just feel a little exhaustipated, and that is when you're just too tired to give a shit anymore. I have those days all the time. Adulting is exhausting. Then some people are just fructose intolerant. The condition of being completely unable to tolerate other people's bullshit. Bullshit. I think I have a case of fructose intolerance. Empty holic. I know that I heard a couple of holics yesterday. They weren't empty holics though. They were something else. Empty holics are people who enjoy being alone and find comfort in peace and quiet, which I don't think that that's necessarily being empty. Like, I love my peace and quiet. A disrespectionist, woman who now identifies red flags faster than she used to catch feelings. I have a feeling that there's probably some scorn chicks in the world that consider themselves to be a disrespectionist. Yeah, no comments again. Anything important? You guys know the drill. Suspicious. When you suspect that a person is a fake ass bitch. I get suspicious about a lot of people. Exhauster, whelmulated, feeling of being exhausted, overwhelmed, and overstimulated all at the same time. I also like a good acronym. Sometimes I catch myself trying to make up acronyms for like the weirdest things. But a good one is WASS or SSS. Two F's. WAFFS. And some people might already know what that means, but it means what a fucking shit show. We'll probably all use that one daily. I'm going to start throwing papers in a minute. You guys hear that? I'm such a nerd today. It makes me feel frustrated. The advanced stage of frustration where you don't even have the energy to explain why anymore. That's kind of like where I think people were at yesterday. Then we have bitchcraft, and I know I have friends that can relate. The ancient survival skill of dealing with idiots without catching a felony. So we'll take a break from vocabulary because we're going to talk about some felonies. All these people hang on. My crap's falling everywhere. We have more people now that are going to be going to jail and catching charges over crap that happens on the internet. And most recently, we have seen someone catch charges. And I don't really have anything at all to say about it other than people have approached me and wanted to know what my opinion was. And then the other day, I heard my name brought up in a bunch of drama bullshit, which we'll get to that in just a second. But this person's in trouble. It's my opinion, like me or not. I respect all of your opinions to back him and support him 185 million%. More power to you. I think that the time has come where it is time for him to face the consequences and quit being everyone's show pony. And that's really all I have to say about that. Now, someone else, I'm not even going to say the bitch's name because she's not even worth it. She knows what she's doing. We all know what she's doing. I don't even need to say her name. But she's been playing all these phone calls. Now, I don't know if these are messages, all of them per se, or if we're only hearing one side of the phone conversation. I really don't care what you have to say. I'll go ahead and say, don't exhaust your energy playing any messages or phone calls or showing any screenshots of any communication that has anything to do with me, because I don't care. I don't care what Lisa Kay said about me. I've already told her, and I will stand by this. When you have a question about me, I'm going to be your best source of information. Just come to me. Don't get yourself involved in all this bullshit, because this is what's going to happen, right? Someone's going to eventually blast all these messages, and people are not happy with you right now, but I will not be involved in piling any more on you, because the crap you could have possibly said about me is so minor compared to some of the other shit. Like, as far as I'm concerned, we're good. We never talked a lot before. We don't have to talk a lot now, but there's no issue here. With the other one, I've got big issues, but she's making her own bed. So yesterday we had two drunks, one bottle, and I woke up and I just started seeing the notifications about, oh my gosh, you have to go watch this. Otherwise, I would have never been in that bitch's chat. She's nuts. She's crazy. She's always wasted. And when she gets wasted like that, she goes live for hours. She puts in a whole work day, sloshed and sloppy on a live stream. So I see that Caitlin's in the chat, right? So I don't have to say hi to her. I don't have to say hi to whoever's up on the panel, especially if I don't like you. But I will talk to people that I know in your chat, and there isn't a thing you can do about it other than block me. But I've got other accounts. So I say hi to Caitlin, and this bitch comes unglued. I mean, you would have thought that I just ran over her puppy. She was like, chasing justice. Don't you come in here and not say hi to me. Like, it was obnoxious. She got so mad at me. Well, come to find out, this bitch is mad at me for something that I didn't even do. And it's not even like I actually did anything. It was pretty much just for existing. And the possibility that I was in Nick's chat a couple of years ago. Charlotte's webbing. Sit down, sweetie pie, because I didn't even know that you had a granddaughter back then. No, you could put a picture of her in front of me right now and I wouldn't know it's your granddaughter. So how in the hell can you hold me accountable when you had, I think you had like maybe 50 in your chat yesterday at that time, because at that point word had gotten out that you were losing your shit on your channel, and all the looky-loos were up and at him. So we all went to watch that train wreck of a live stream. And I saw the people that were in your chat. I couldn't tell you who was in Nick's chat 2 years ago. I can tell you that I wasn't. And I can also tell you that there were probably about 20 other people in your chat yesterday morning who were in that chat of Nick's. The one where you expected me, when I wasn't even there, to be the one person in the chat that says, hey, I don't agree with that. Don't you do that. Shame on you. Like, what the fuck kind of standards are you trying to hold me to, woman? And to top it all off, not only did she already had my backup account blocked in her chat from last time. Somehow my main account wasn't blocked, so I knew that I had a couple more comments I could get in before she finally blocked me. So I took that approach, and then I ended up getting blocked. So I grab her link. I try to go on her panel. I'm like, okay, we can just nip this in the bud right now. I can come tell you how wrong you are, and you can wallow in your self pity. Well, no, the bitch wouldn't let me up. I tried 3 times, and she would not let me up, and she blocked me from the StreamYard. I have never had a StreamYard block in almost 5 years. Nor do I ever like demand a link and want to hop up on someone's panel every time they say something about me that I don't like. I just don't care usually. But for some reason, that bitch just irritated me yesterday because she was so wrong on all levels. Like, she just had it all wrong. Bitch, if you don't like me, just say you don't like me. You don't have to come up with some crazy ass reason. I promise you that I will not lose 1 ounce of sleep over the fact that Charlotte's wedding, you sloppy ass drunk bitch, doesn't like me. But she loves to let it be known. Like, ugh. And she hated me with a passion yesterday, right? Like, she was telling AC and Rich, and they kept asking her why. What's the problem? What's the problem? And AC was trying to make her see, like, you're being stupid. She just couldn't get it. You cannot go on your live and talk about how busy and how professional you are, and you're the caregiver for this and the caregiver for that. Bitch, you didn't even sound like you needed to be trying to take care of yourself yesterday. And no one seed hide nor hair of you today either. You are probably having one hell of a migraine. It was 9:40 in the morning when I heard that bitch say, "It's time to have another glass of wine." Clip that. Clip that. Oh, bitch, I clipped it. You were out of control. But the whole thing about the picture, okay, let me enlighten you on what the situation is, because I don't even have a fucking clue. Apparently, there was an account made. Okay, she was doxxed. I wasn't involved in the gathering of the information, the hunting, the collecting. I did nothing. I wasn't in the group, Charlotte. Not in any capacity. And I guess her 18-month-old granddaughter's picture was used and an account was made, and that's that. That's really all I know. Now, dum dum, I heard you make the comment yesterday saying that, well, Chasing was in the chat. And in my opinion, if you're in the chat and you don't say, hey, that's not right, I don't agree with that, then you're just as guilty. Bitch, how many times during my lives have I said I don't agree with stuff like that? Charlotte, do you want me to write it down and mail it to you? I'll write it in a letter. I'll have it notarized. I'll do whatever you need me to do if you'll just shut the fuck up. Just shut up. And if you're not going to shut up, then at least let me on the panel and say it to me. Why are you intimidated? You didn't even tell your audience or your other panel guests that I was trying to get on there and rectify the situation. No, you didn't want anyone to know. You little chicken shit. You're crazy. You are one of the really crazy ones. That is just my personal opinion, but I've seen you do this countless times to so many people. And then it just turned into a big, weird, drunken cry fest. Do you people not have any dignity? And I better not ever hear any of you, especially either one of you, Bird, Char, neither one of you bitches better ever say a word about Nicolina's slurring and Nicolina's wasted. She's an adult. She can drink just like the two of you. But my gosh, you guys drank enough for all of us in that chat yesterday morning. And you had been up all night, and that makes it even worse because you were both delirious. You were bickering and arguing with each other. Neither one of you had like a clear, concise point to make. And the people who had any kind of common sense who were on the panel with you couldn't get a word in edgewise because you guys don't know when to zip it. Char, if you're going to be talking all that shit that you were talking yesterday morning, I'm right here, live and direct. Otherwise, hush. You don't have to like me. I'm damn sure not going to like you. And we just don't have to talk. It's that simple. But if you think for 1 second that I'm just supposed to telepathically know who all the grandchildren are, and when I just happen to see a picture, I'm supposed to automatically know, oh, that's Char's 18-month-old grandchild. Let me speak up. I wouldn't even know. That's how uninterested I am in having people's personal information or knowing all about their life story. I don't care who people are related to. I don't want to know what your third cousins look like or anything like that. So chances are good if a name crosses my screen or something, I'm not even going to know right away. So, Charlotte's wedding, I would like to give you a big fat fuck you. Don't be dragging me into your bullshit that I know nothing about. Comprende? I gotta go get my notebook. Hang on. Such a nerd. I would say, do you guys want to hear some more words or do you want me to keep babbling? But since I can't see your comments, I just have to guess what you guys want to do. Hang on. I gotta sit my big ass down. Let's see. Okay, let's start off with, oh my gosh, I know I'm gonna butcher this word when I try to say it. Supercalifragilistic kiss my acidosis. I did it. I did it. So that is what that means is I'm tired of dealing with bullshit and moves that are atrocious. If I don't protect myself, it will lead to psychosis, whatever the fuck that means. Twatstipation, the mental or emotional blockage caused by having to deal with too many twats in one day. Char. This is one of my favorites. So a big shout out to Hakuna Matata. I don't know if she's in the chat. I don't know who's in the chat right now. Hakuna McFuckit. When you give zero fucks and no worries, so you just let the shit show resume. A shidiot. That's Charlotte's wedding. A person who makes stupid decisions and ends up in crappy situations. I would say that Ernie is also a shidiot. And I mean that with utmost care and concern. Then we have twatosphere, the environment created when too many idiots gather in one place. I would say that YouTube is a twatosphere. I would say that most social media is a twatosphere. But it sure is fun. Malfunction, a technical error in which men mistake bare minimum effort for emotional intelligence. I'm not gonna like dog on dudes too much. I like men. Not all of them are liked equally. There's a few around here I would like to nut punch. Traumacation is a mental getaway you take to recover from people who should have just left you the fuck alone. Char. You are one of those people who should have just left me the fuck alone. Okay, that's enough vocabulary for today, I think. I gotta save some for next time.
So moving along, yesterday on Char's panel, she had Bird up there for a while, and on a more serious note, when I was like watching what was transpiring, like I won't say necessarily that I felt bad for them because they chose to get up there sloppy drunk like that. But like when people get like that, alcohol can be like a truth serum sometimes, and just all the emotion. And this happens so much with her, not with Shark because she's just a bitch, but with the other one, like I've seen her have like breakdowns like that more than once. And as far as any interaction with her, I don't think I've ever had any one-on-one interaction. Probably not even a conversation in a chat, to be quite honest. But I've witnessed what happens, and it never turns out well. There's always crying and tears and snot involved, and I do kind of feel bad for letting yourself get to that point where you're doing that in front of a shit ton of people. And I think that some people have gotten so jaded by some of this shit that they get so far into it that they quit checking themselves, and I've caught myself like yesterday, if I would have done this live, which I was trying to do, it would probably have gone completely different than how it's going today because I was ready to choke the absolute shit out of Char yesterday. Once that bitch wouldn't even let me up there to talk it out, I'm done with you at that point. If you can't even have a conversation like an adult, if you think that you are so right in what you're thinking, then stand on that. Stand on it and face it. Don't stand on it and be a little bitch, though. Because if you were going to sit there trashing me and make it sound like I was coming after kids, or I was somehow involved, or I refused to stand up and do the right thing, well, fuck you. People want to say I'm a bitch, I talk shit, and I said this behind this person's back. Yeah, I probably have talked shit about you behind your back if we don't get along. And it's only because I know you're doing the same thing about me. But as far as all that other shit, Char, no, you'll never find anything where I have gone after someone's family or put someone's family in danger. It's never happened. So if you're going to get up there and accuse me of all that shit, then you better buck the fuck up, little lady, and let me come up there and defend myself, or at least explain to your other panel guests what the fuck is going on. And the drunk reason you were giving made no sense whatsoever, but it was like talking to a brick wall to get you to realize it. You can't deal with sloppy drunk people like that. There's different levels of drunk people, and you are the kind that I do not like because you're sloppy. So the other lady that was on her panel had that whole meltdown thing. I guess something happened with her daughter too, and Char, your panel guest had a problem with Texas Kim, and you allowed her on panel to work it out. And it seems like everything that you guys are bitching at about, you guys always circle it around and bring it back to Nick. Like it's always her fault. Saying that she said she was going to murk someone's kids. Are you insane? Are you just drunk every day of the week? Because that was never said. And you need to quit fucking talking about people's kids, especially if you don't know that person like that. That's another thing you need to shut the fuck up about anybody's kids, because you had it so wrong yesterday. But that's not what was said. She never said that, but you kept pushing that too. So there was the meltdown in the morning about the kids, and this has been going on for a while. I guess an account was made of her adult daughter, and I guess people in a chat talked to that account. There again, how are people just supposed to know? New accounts come into chats all the time, and it may take you a while to figure out who it is. You may never figure out who someone is. 9 times out of 10, if someone comes in with a full first and last name, we have a good idea that it's probably someone's docs, but we don't just automatically assume it's someone's child. And if you're someone like me who doesn't worry about shit like that, I'm not going to recognize anyone's names. So then fast forward to last night, and Nick's doing a live, and this person comes into her chat and starts bringing it up again. And so Nick lets her on panel, and they have a conversation about it. And I thought everything went pretty well. This person was given grace and understanding and compassion. Anyone who's a mother can understand how that might be hurtful. And although some of us can't personally relate to what it's like to be estranged from any of our children, adult or not, we can empathize because we know how much we love our kids. But then after she leaves Nick's panel, she runs right over to a channel where there's just nothing but shit talk going on about Nick and about all of the mean girls. And that's why I say you're all fucking nuts. Does anyone even understand what they're bitching about anymore? I kept hearing over and over, like, I don't know if anyone else noticed it, but almost every channel that I listened in on for a little bit, I heard at least one time someone said, you got to let it go and leave it in the past for various situations. And I don't know, like, when I hear things like that consistently throughout my day, I kind of take that as a sign. Like maybe that's something I need to pay attention to or maybe work on. And I get it, it can be hard. There's a lot of shit that has transpired over the last few years. A lot of dirty shit has been done. But it really is fucking time. Like, if you're going to do something legally about someone you're having an issue with, then shit or get off the pot and get it done. Quit bitching about it every day. I know that some people have their silent battles that they are dealing with things. Like just because someone's not talking about something doesn't mean that there might not be something in the works. But y'all need to quit fucking around with people's families though. Fuck. So, oh, Char, before I forget, the reason Raylan calls you Wilbur dumbass isn't because she thinks you're the pig, or maybe she does think you're a pig. It's because Wilbur is just in relation to the movie. That's all. No more, no less. Let's see. Oh, I saw something today in a chat. I know I'm like to the point of this is the scatterbrain part of the show where I just have shit scribbled down all over the page. So I saw a comment today in a chat, and it goes just like what I said. Angelo made the comment today of people need to have some damn closure and stop living in the past. So it's whose responsibility is it though? Do we take personal responsibility to be the ones to say, look, okay, we're not going to deal with this anymore? Or do we sit back and wait on the other person to be like, hey, I'm not going to keep throwing this in this person's face anymore? I really wish I could hear you guys' opinions, but I can't see the fucking comments. Hold on, I'm going to go out one more time. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm scrolling now, you guys. I hate StreamYard. It always makes me like a jackass. Texas Ken just went and had her lashes did. Fleece. Hey, Chaos. Raylan. Hello, El Kennedy. I do too. I think there's a lot of things in the works in various situations too. And that's like, we are responsible for letting it get this bad, you guys. We all played a part in letting this shit get so out of control. I was thinking about that today. I was like, when the fuck did it become the norm to dig into people's personal shit? Like, where did that start? I tried to think back and like, and I know this is going to piss some people off for me to say it, but I'm going to say it because I never agreed with it. I think that when Ernie came along and started teaching all the skip tracing bullshit, I think that that was kind of the turning point. And I know, like, I'm not naive or stupid. I know that it was going on long before in other communities, like the OG drama community. I've heard the horror stories about that community, you know, all the troll communities, the hardcore trolls. I get it. But I'm talking about like in this little sub community. Because when you think about it, our community is not that big. And I know that people kind of segregate it like Nick's community. And so it's like communities within the community. But what it boils down to is we're all just one big community. We just don't all watch the same people. But I don't know. Like, I just felt like when he went through the whole, if you're going to be a mod for me, you have to give 2 forms of ID and all that shit. Like, I thought that was so wrong. And then even now, you know, he's got all those tiger chats set up. And I was in the whatever one for a little while. And there wasn't nothing going on crazy in there. But I'm not dumb. I'm sure there was a whole other chat where the crazy did happen. And I don't know who's in this one. I don't know if all the mods were included in this new chat, but he's sitting there training people up to do the same damn thing. And if that big mouth one, you all know who I'm talking about, Maud is in there, like that's right up her alley. She loves looking up people's information and passing it around. And I don't care. I still strongly feel like she was involved in that one phone call that there was so much controversy about. I really think that she was involved in it in some way. And I know I'm not the only person that thinks that. And I can't fucking see comments again. I hate this. So I'm just going to sit here and keep talking to myself. And you guys can make fun of me later. So let's see. Sweet Melissa was getting her ass chewed out today. And yes, ma'am, you absolutely did say that about their children. I don't have to like them to back up the fact that, yes, you absolutely did say stuff about their children. You can't do shit like that and then be one of the ones to say, everyone needs to stop talking about people's families in the chat. Oh, I do want to say, I went back and listened to a clip of Brad Inlows. Normally, I don't watch him. You know, I'm not going to lie. It's just not my thing, right? But I decided to watch a clip because what's the harm in watching a clip? I can make it through a 5-minute clip if need be. But he said something that really made complete sense. And once again, sorry if I piss people off, but what he said about the whole Ronnie King thing, If that's true, and I'm not saying that it is, if it's true, then that explains so much. It really does. And I'll just leave it at that because I've never wanted to get involved in that whole case situation. I'm not going to start now. There's more funny shit that we can talk about as soon as I can find it. Uh, oh, there was a point made on a panel last night. They were talking about, you guessed it, Nicolina. And D Boss was on the panel and she was asking a question. She was curious about why Kevin went along with Nick being in the rotation, and his answer was because he didn't want to rock the boat or risk a friendship with Benny by having issues with Nick. Which I get, wanting to not be in an uncomfortable situation. But you're just a fucking dick about it, right? Like, that basically tells me that whole heart to heart conversation that you had with Nick when everything was supposedly squashed and put aside, and bygones be bygones, and you guys were good and it was a fresh start, that just means that you're full of shit and you can't stay true to your word. That's what that tells me about you. But I do see you sit around a lot on panels and on your own channel, and you are self-righteous as fuck. So one's got to wonder, are you trying to convince yourself how amazing you are? Or are you trying to convince other people? Because you've even talked shit about me, and there again, I've never even had a conversation with you. The closest thing to one-on-one interaction we've had is when you sent me a link to join your Discord when I was already in your fucking Discord. That's how much attention you paid to me, but yet I've heard you talk shit. And sometimes I have a hard time. I'm like, is this a dude talking shit like this to women or what? Where are we at here? And I don't care either way. I really don't. Live your best life. But sometimes you people just go round and fucking round. Do you ever get tired of chasing your own fucking tails and trying to hit your point home, but it keeps getting lost in deaf ears? Like, no one cares, obviously. Let people like who the fuck they want to like. Because it does put people in weird situations. Because I also heard this person say last night that Sarah wants to run her channel like it's church, and you just can't be neutral in the drama community. Well, I would like to fucking beg to differ because I have been balancing it just fine for almost 5 years. I get along with people that some of my friends might not necessarily like, but it's because I set boundaries for myself. Like, I know when to draw the line. I know that someone can tell me something in confidence and I'm not going to attack that person with it later, because that's not my thing either. So, yes, if it's good enough for you to not want to cause conflict with Benny because you don't like Nick, then why is it not good enough for Sarah to not want to have conflict? It was the same situation, and D-Boss asked you that question, and you backpedaled, and you were like, well, yeah, it is the same situation, but, like, why are you exempt? It should be even Steven across the fucking board for everyone. Don't set standards for others that you're not willing to set for yourself. And it's always a good rule of thumb to keep in mind that the only person you can control is you. Char, I have no control over things that Nick says or does on her panel for future reference. Chances are good you might see me in a chat where someone is doing some shady shit, but you know what? It's because 95% of the people in this little community have done some shady shit. You probably will never see me jump up and holler in a chat and try to tell someone how to run their channel. And I saw someone post a comment in a chat the other night, and it said something like, "Why are you so upset about the way Sarah runs their channel?" And the response was, "It's tough love." Well, who the fuck are you to give anyone on YouTube tough love? I'll be damned if someone's going to come over here and tell me how I need to run things, because I'm not going to listen. I'll just go ahead and tell you straight out the gate. And probably the more you push, the harder I'm going to resist. I feel like there's something that I'm forgetting about. And I know that someone could remind me in chat. Oh, Char, going back to that stupid chat. How come you didn't want to hold? There was probably at that time in Nick's chats, there was probably 250 that would show up. So why aren't any of those people held responsible for not telling her that that's not cool? And weren't you sent screenshots of who actually found your family or some shit like that? I don't even know. We're going to wrap it up soon because I am tired of talking and not being able to see everyone's comments. I feel like an asshole when I can't respond to you guys. And it's almost after school time. Oh, until ATIL graced us with one of her invigorating reprimanding live streams this morning. She really put us in our place. We're all assholes who do bad things. But it's okay. Never fear, because ATIL is part of a super secret community with a super secret channel. And I wasn't aware, but I learned today that her original mission when she came to YouTube was to talk about mental health awareness and addiction. I don't think she ever mentioned that before. I remember her mentioning that we were going to do meditation. That never happened. She was going to do some fitness stuff at one time. I was a little worried because I thought I was going to have some competition. That never happened. There's just been so many things, but I never knew that she had this whole mental health awareness campaign going. But she's going to be doing members only lives over on that other channel. She does not want anyone over in this community to know about it because we do horrible things. So in order to make sure that we don't know about it, she's just going to come tell us about it. But she's not going to tell us the channel name. So we can't go over there because she said she has got to leave this platform. It is not healthy for her. People in her chat are just so mean and say the most horrible things, which is kind of crazy because I've only ever seen 14 watching. Only 3 people can chat because she blocks everyone. But I wish ATIL the best. I hope she finds all the health and happiness that her little heart desires. Officer Brandon, I hope that he gets his flatulence under control. He did not seem happy with her. He yelled at her today. I did not think that was cool, Officer Brandon. I'm going to need you to not do that again. So, she had some stalkers recently, but she showed them. She took their asses to court. She said she got a lump sum payment. I've never heard of anyone getting a lump sum payment in a criminal case unless it was an injury case attached to it. But I guess she had so much emotional damage from her stalkers that she got paid. She got the money, honey. But she made an adult decision not to be part of the shenanigans anymore. Those pesky fucking shenanigans. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I think the rotation has rotated out. What do you guys think? Oh, I'm getting so frustrated right now. Yeah, that's kind of all I got for today. I've been live for about an hour. I don't fucking like being live for very long. I guess I'll see you guys in a month whenever I decide to do this shit again. I don't know, man. I don't know what the answers are. I don't really have any words of wisdom. I mean, the world's going to shit. So, in comparison to that, I think that some of this shit is just silly. And I don't think that there's any harm in just, even if you don't get closure that you want from someone else, like, let's face it, we're never going to get all the apologies we want or all the apologies we think we deserve. We don't ever have to get to a point where someone admits when they're right or wrong, because it's probably not going to happen. And you don't necessarily have to make a truce with someone to the point of being friends. Sometimes you can just be like, you don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you. That can happen too. But I think that life happens fast enough. Shit can snowball before you know it. You don't have to be friends with everyone, but you don't have to keep wallowing around in the same shit from years ago. Doesn't that get exhausting? Tomorrow is going to present enough problems. Why are you worried about what happened yesterday? Live in the moment. Appreciate the day that you have right now. Don't take 1 second for granted. Because in the long run, you got to make your own happiness. No one's going to bring it and dump it on your doorstep. You're grown-ups now. You got to go out and obtain that shit. And I'm not talking about obtaining it by sitting around being an asshat all year long, expecting charities to come in and support your family, and then go on social media bragging about your huge ass tax refund. Hey, I'm happy for you. Blow your whole fucking wad for all I care. But let's not act like you got that big ass refund because you were such a hard, diligent worker all year. Come on. We know how that happens. It's not very smart to come bragging about how much money you have and then in another breath talking about all kinds of weird people are coming to your house. But you're going to go brag about all this money you got on YouTube, where all the people who keep coming to your house are coming from. Nimrod. All right. Well, if anyone sent super chats or anything like that, then I appreciate it. I will go back through the chat later and I will say thank you individually. I appreciate all of you for being here and keep your fucking heads up. Take care of your families, take care of yourselves, and quit worrying about all the petty shit. None of it matters. All right, everyone have a safe weekend, and I will talk to all of you soon. Hopefully, StreamYard gets its shit together, and I can see comments next time. Okay, love your faces. Bye.